Hey guys, I am back. And guys, it's finally time for us to review the last figure for today. It's finally time for us to review the giant Skar King with Whipslash. See, I'm very excited to review this figure. I've been very excited, and now it's finally happening. So yeah, real quick guys, sorry that it took me a little while to get this video here. Dinner was almost ready when I finished reviewing the Giant Kong. And so I decided to eat first, and now that I'm finished with dinner, we can finally do this. So yeah. Anyways, as usual, let's talk about the packaging before we open it up. So of course, we do have, of course, the open packaging. Got the figure right there, of course. Looks pretty phenomenal. This is Monsterverse, Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire. Got all the lightning in the background, the crystals. We have Godzilla and Kong right there. Giant Skar King with Whipslash. Everything else down here. Here's the other side. Got Godzilla and Kong right there. Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire. Of course, here's the background. Very phenomenal background. Of course, it says Monsterverse right there. Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire. I still don't feel like reading that write-up, so if you want to, go ahead and pause the video. You have a few seconds. Okay? Once again, yeah, these backgrounds are absolutely sick. Got a cool product shot right there. It's phenomenal. It says Skar King right there. Of course, we got the whole lava background back there. Yep. I can't decide which one's my favorite. I'm indecisive between all three of them, but part of me wants to say this is my favorite background. I'm not sure, but oh well. Anyways, here's the other side. Got some more crystals right there. Giant Skar King with Whipslash, and yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the camera. I'll get this out of the packaging, and then I'll review it. So give me a few seconds. Okay guys, I'm back, and we finally got our Giant Skar King out of the packaging. Already looking really cool. Don't really have any complaints so far, at least so far. And yeah, let's get started. So first, of course, we gotta take a look at some details, and then we'll talk about articulation. So of course, first off, we do get his head and his face. He's got that red war paint on him, which I think is pretty cool. Of course, he's got like some white paint on him as well. Of course, we do have his eyes. And once again, just like on the other Skar King figure that I reviewed, his eyes look cross-eyed. I don't know why Playmates did that, but oh well. We do also get his teeth. They look pretty cool. I want to say they're almost perfectly painted. I like that. Of course, we do have his Whipslash right here. One of the ropes was still attached on here from when it was inside the package, but I got that off without taking off the Whipslash. And also around this area, there was like a little plastic string, which I also got off without taking this Whipslash off. So yeah. Anyways, he does also have some more war paint right here, as you can see. Just make sure he stands. And of course, he's got some war paint on the arms, got all this red fur, well sculpted feet, and everything. So yeah, I really like how he looks. And real quick, I'm gonna see if I can take his Whipslash off real quick, so I can show you what he looks like without it on. Let's see. Let me see if I can do it. I'm going to lay him down real quick, because this is already harder than I thought, but I'm going to make it happen. Ah, there we go. Finally. Anyways, let me see here. Come on. Okay, I'm going to set the Whipslash aside for now. We'll talk about it alone in a bit. And so, yeah, good. He's still standing. Of course, it's what he looks like without the Whipslash on. And of course, in the back, as you can see, he has screw holes. Same screw hole problem. Again, us collectors like me do not appreciate this, but oh well. Again, I really do hope that that's something that Playmates fixes eventually, but still, this is still a very nice figure. So yeah. Anyways, and of course, I'm sure you can already tell, especially with the other Skar King figure that I already reviewed, this guy can also be a bit hard to get to stand on his own, but as you can see, I've been making it happen. So yeah. Anyways, now let's talk about articulation. So, I'm going to set my camera down here. And yeah, so for articulation, his head can move up and down. Wait, can it? Yeah, it can move up and down quite a bit, which I'm sure you can see. Well, maybe it can, I'm not sure. It can also move from side to side, just like this. And it can actually do a 360, But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to, because I've watched a couple reviews on this figure, and they said that, of course, if you do too much 360 articulation with the head, then it can eventually cause some scuffing on the paint, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the articulation for the head. And just like with the other Skar King figure that I reviewed, this guy also has articulation at the chest area, which I think is pretty cool. And I believe it can do a 360. Can it? Yes, it can. That is very nice. I like that. Some good 360 articulation at the chest area. I like that. Just like with the other 6-inch figures, this Giant Skar King has a bit more articulation than Giant Kong, which I think is pretty cool. Anyways, the arms can also move. This arm can move in and out like this, as you can see, in and out like that. It can also move up and down, back and forth, and it can also do a 360, just like that. But I also want to avoid too much of that because I saw and heard some parts on the arm scrape against parts of the torso, and I don't want to cause any paint scuffing, so I'm going to avoid most 360 articulation. And also, he can also bend at the elbows, as you can see, and they can swivel too, just like with Kong, so yeah. And of course, his wrist can right here can turn. Well, I think it can. Probably just have to warm it up a bit. Yeah, you probably just have to warm it up a bit, but it can turn. Quite sure it can do a 360, but I don't know. Anyways, this arm can also move as well. It can move back and forth, and it can also do a 360, but I want to avoid that because of what I said earlier. This arm can also move at the elbow, and of course, this elbow can also swivel, as you can see. And of course, this wrist, this hand, I'm sure can also turn. Let's see. Yep, it can pretty much turn. Looks like you got to warm it up a bit, but yeah. I'm quite sure it has 360 articulation as well. Then for the legs, let's see here. With the legs, can move back and forth about this much. Hold on. Let me move his arm up. Can move back and forth about this much. They can also swivel a bit, but of course it shows more screw holes. But yeah, it can swivel. And this leg can also move back and forth just like this. The leg can also swivel, but then of course more screw holes are revealed. But of course, it can also bend at the knees too, about that much. Same with this knee, about that much. And so, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the figure. Let me see if I can get him to stand. Because, like I said, this figure can be a bit hard to stand, but I think I just made it happen, yeah. Anyways, moving on from the figure, he does come with this Whipslash, of course, which I think is pretty cool. It's like a bigger version of the Whipslash that came with the other Skar King figure that I reviewed. I really like it. And of course, it doesn't have any like extra paint on it, of course, because it's not exclusive. So yeah, really like it. And of course, it can fit in this hand right here. Just gotta put in his hand right here like this. Like so. And yeah, there you go. That is pretty phenomenal. Gonna try to get him in a cool pose with his Whipslash. If I can, I'm gonna try. Let's see. Trying to simply just stand him up. It's hard, but yeah. Hold up. I will make it happen. Come on. Come on. This may take some time, guys, but just bear with me. Let me see. Yeah, this is harder than I thought, but yeah, this guy is hard to get to stand on his own, but I think I'm almost getting there. Okay, I pretty much got it for now, as you can see. And of course, there I go putting my fingers in the way again. But see, I pretty much got him in a pose like that. I guess it looks kind of good. Yeah, I like it. Anyways, guys, time for a quick figure comparison. Let's compare him to the 6-inch Skar King. Well, the exclusive one from that Kong vs. Skar King pack. So as you can see, basically this figure is a bigger version, but doesn't have all that extra paint on him, as you can see. Well, you know, still pretty cool. And yeah, move this guy out of the way real quick. And I'm gonna bring in the other two giant figures that we already reviewed. So let's bring in our giant Kong. And let's see if we can fit our giant Godzilla into here, which we should be able to. Yes, we can. So yeah, guys, these are the three giant figures for Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire. I really like them. Let me know what your thoughts are on these figures, especially our giant Skar King. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow, because tomorrow is the day I'm most excited for, because finally going to review our normal 6-inch Skar King and Suko with Titanus Doug. This one I'm most excited to review because, as I've said before, when I first found out that this figure pack existed, this was the one that I wanted to get my hands on most, after I got the first two figures, of course. And yeah, I'm really excited. So yeah. Of course, the day after tomorrow, I'll review that remote control Godzilla. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts on these figures, and I will see you guys tomorrow.